Hi everyone, and welcome to another tutorial in the Unity 3D Scripting API series. And in this tutorial, we're going to talk about the OnEnable event method. So just to recap, event methods get called automatically by the Unity 3D engine at predetermined times. Now the OnEnable event method is called after the awake method. And it's called whenever the script component is enabled, which can be more than once. So what is its usage? So it's used for resetting variables and the current game object's properties, or if you want to execute code only when the script component is enabled. So the start event method is called once, but the OnEnable event method is called every time that the script component or the game object that it's attached to is enabled. And for this reason, OnEnable isn't really suitable for initialization tasks that need to happen only once. So here's this picture kind of telling you the order of the event methods that we've discussed. So the awake event method is used to initialize any variables, properties, or game state of an object before the game starts. So this is going to be called first. And then we have the OnEnable event method, which is called whenever the script component that is enabled or the game object that it's attached to is enabled. And lastly, the start event method, which is called on the first frame of the game. So this is the order of these event methods. And like I said, that event methods get called automatically by the Unity 3D engine at predetermined times. And this is what we mean. Okay, so let's try this code out. And I'm in my editor. I've already made a cube object here. Let's go ahead and make a script. So I'm going to create a C# script and I'm going to call this cube controller. Okay, and let's also attach it to our game object by dragging and dropping it in the inspector window. So double click to open it. So I already have my start event and update event methods populated in my script. So let me use debug.log, which is going to log something to the console. Okay, so debug is a class and log is the method. And now I'm going to, let's do void awake. And I don't really need private void awake. So once again, debug.log, and this is going to say awake method. And let's not forget these semicolons here, because otherwise there's going to be a syntax error. It's not going to run. And void OnEnable. And once again, no, it's not a private method. And debug.log OnEnable method. Okay, so Control S to save, and let's try this out. Oops, it's telling us there is an error in our script. And this is the error. Silly mistake. Okay, let me clear this and let's play the game. Or let's press play to see what's happening. So now you can see that the awake method is called first. Then we have the OnEnable method that's called, and lastly we have the start method that's called. And this all goes back to this diagram here, right? So the Unity 3D engine is going to call these event methods in a predetermined manner or certain order. So Let's go ahead and try this out again. So let me clear this. Now this time I'm going to disable the cube controller script by unchecking this, okay? And now I'm going to press play. And you see that only the awake event method is called when the script component is disabled. Okay, now let me clear this. Okay, so I'm going to enable the cube controller script, but I'm going to disable the cube. And pressing play, and nothing is logged to the console. Well, because the whole object and any scripts that are attached to it won't be enabled, right? So the cube itself is not enabled, the game object. And this is what we meant by that the OnEnable event method is called whenever the script component is enabled or the game object that it's attached to is enabled. And that's all for this tutorial. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you like this.